Hi, welcome back. It's all about your gauge again. So I've kind of got this mad idea that I'm going to get this finished now. October, November, I want it done. And hopefully then that will give me the chance to then move back, because it's been getting on for 12 months now, to the double O room next door. So but I'm thinking if I start dabbling there, this is going to get left. So I thought, no, it's not that big, and I did promise myself I was going to finish this. So I've set myself kind of the target, October, November, we get this done. I always seem to say this, but November is a slightly busy, chaotic month for me with trips and charters. So ideally, October's the month, November will be the finer details. I think that's the plan. So what is next, I hear you say? Well, as you remember, the ballast went down. That's all glued into place. All the surplus has been removed. And so now what I'm thinking is it's far too light for the rest of the dirt and that was dirt, which was a mixture of dirt and murk. So dirt, murk and grime. Yes. So what I have here is some black wash by Humbrol and a brush. So I'm going to painstakingly paint the ballast now with some black wash, and I also have, which I need to fetch, I think it's on the kitchen table, I have a box from, I think it's Geoscenics, I'll confirm when I fetch it, and it's full of kits to make like oil slicks and spills and dirty areas. So my theory is I'm going to wash first with this, and then I'm going to fetch that kit up and I'll show you what's inside there and try and work out how the hell you use it. So let's get washing first. So you'll notice we have LMS Eric here and Sherwood sat observing. I will obviously move them when I get close to this end, which is going to take a while, I think. So the lid is off. I've never used this or done this before either, so I'm going to paint a small section. I'll move the camera down so you can see it rather than see my arm or me doing it. So you'll get a closer look at what's happening, and then I will take it from there. So let's get painting ballast. How exciting. So here we go. I've decided to hand hold it, which will be hopefully better. Show you. Oh, there we go. She says. So if I try and work it so you get a closer look to what I'm doing. So as you can see, this little wash here is going under these little bricks here. And it's very slow, painstaking process, which could be even worse than ballasting in my opinion, you know. So it's just taking the cleanness looking whiteness, brightness off these bricks to dull it down, make it dirty looking. I'll find out, see there? I'll find out how well I glued the ballast down at the same time, you know what I mean? So there we go. Nice, it's not too bad. There's not too much moving about at the moment. But can you see the difference? Hopefully, where that one's done, that one isn't. So here we go. Get some wash in there. So I'm going to do this over all the bricks, and then I will have a look at this Scenics kit I mentioned as well. Because this will hopefully, it's going to give it a multi-tone. Because you might think to yourself, well, why don't you just get the Scenics kit and go from there? But I was thinking if I do this first, then I can make some areas really dark. So then you get like, again, the multi-tonalness, you know, that we like. A few loose ones here. So there you go. You can get the gist of what's happening. In fact, if I now show you, see, well, you can see from the middle to the edges, like the difference. So see how now it's starting to look a little bit darker, but not sort of like solidly dark. And that's the look we're going for. show if I put the brush there a moment. So I'm not going to make you sit and watch every brick get painted, as exciting as that would be. So go get yourselves a brew, maybe a beer, sit back, relax, I'll finish this and I'll come back and give you a quick swoop of the whole lot. So here is a quick completed look. Kind of a completed look, as you're going to find out in the next video. But here is with, you can see I've put a bit extra there in that area to make it look quite authentic, hopefully. So this is how the ballast now looks. So you can see the phone's kind of making it look lighter than it actually is in places, but hopefully see like how I've put some extra to make it look like spills too. So there you go, there's some of the completed weathered ballast. I particularly like this area, maybe I'll do a bit more like that there. So as ever, there's been a very slight issue, mainly that I'd only got one pot of that dart wash, which had got a little bit out of it from something in the 00 room, and it is literally, I don't think I've overused it. I think I literally just, as I showed you on the video, which I didn't think was too much, so it's literally done this one track from there all the way to the end. As you can see, Eric's moved over, so the bigger track, which is the far one, hopefully you can see the colour difference, hasn't been touched at all, and I've run out of paint, so I've just had to put a quick online order in to get some more, and that's going to have to be sort of an evening project this week, so I want to get that part done and finished and ticked off. So I'm hoping I'll get delivery tomorrow or Tuesday. I could crack on, get that side painted. So here we go. So is it showing up colour wise? I think it is, because that looks, looking at the screen, that looks pretty light, and that now looks a lot darker, so I'm hoping that is showing up. So I'll give you a closer look in a moment. Now it was Geoscenics where I had some other oddments from, which I have here. So what I've got is a bag of siding cinders, which I think I'm going to use sparingly down there, but I think that will also come in handy for the MPD area on Growland. So, but this is the exciting one, oil spill kit. Now, in here you get spill kit powder and a bottle of curiosity. So it does say, to produce a dirty track bed on your ballasted track, areas to represent oily ballast and track bed for between the rails in stations, at points, signal areas and engine maintenance depots. I need Clarkson's, it's quite small print. So it's basically saying apply the dry powder in small quantities to the area requiring the oil spill. Start from the centre, work outwards, spray with PVA mist. Have I got any PVA mist? I don't think I have. Okay. And then that seals and allows to dry for 24 hours. Coverage will depend on the grain size of the underlying ballast. Well, that's pretty big. Okay, apply the oil solution, which is the exciting mold, to the sealed powder area for that oily area finish between the rails and the fuel point. I find myself saying this a lot on this project, but what could possibly go wrong? So sadly, I'm not going to be able to do that because I haven't got any PVA mist, so I need to get back on the computer. But that's what my little Geoscenics kits are that I mentioned. So I'm thinking, what is next? So next will be get my overwash, finish that rail, have a look at that and decide if I'm going to use that too, or whether it's too far. Maybe I'll have a go on the MPD area next door, maybe, because that's more open and it won't muck my rails up is all I'm thinking, so we'll see. What else? Obviously this, I need to source some paint as well. I'm thinking dark brown maybe. I thought maybe black, but then I thought it's going to be very, you know, I love black, but so it's either going to be dark brown or black. I'm going to get this frontage painted, ready for the new lead sign that's arrived. For those who've seen the shot, we have a name for the layout. So that's going to be another one. If you miss the short, you've either got to have a look and see what is on this nameplate, or you've got to wait for the next video where that's painted and this is going on, and I'll reveal it again to you, but I'm pretty sure you know by now what it is. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck now for today, I've realised. So it's a very short one for a change. So what's coming up? Yeah, more painting of the same. I need to still source the background scenery I was thinking of, and I have various landscaping. I'm just trying to think what I've already bought. I've got my figurines to paint, obviously my little blinders. I've got whiskey barrels to kind of arrange as if they're being unloaded off the canal. And I have a fence as well, actually. The fence has got to go along. So yeah, still plenty to do. I've just realised there is more, I think. And I actually think the little landscapey parts, the little fine touches, they're the bits that probably take the longest. So what I hope to do, get the tracks finished, and then I'll show you the engines just having a little shunt up and down. And so it's very short, but at least they can run. So yes, perhaps I'll do that next. So as ever, thanks for watching. It's a very uneventful video, really. A bit painting and that's it. But things are moving, and I always think once the big stuff's done, it's a bit like kind of when you're doing stuff in the house, isn't it? Once the big stuff's done, it's the finer stuff that takes the longest and doesn't look like much is happening, but we are getting there. So thank you as always. I'll be back soon once my paints arrive. Have a good week.